I'm Monika Sattler. I'm originally from Germany, but after high school I left to the United States to play volleyball at the university. And I always say I watched too much James Bond because I wanted to go to the German Secret Service. So naturally, I studied international security with a focus on nuclear weapons in North Korea and Iran at Georgetown University in DC, Washington, DC. Realizing though that James Bond doesn't exactly reflect the reality. But I loved the atmosphere in DC, so I stayed there and worked for the International Monetary Fund and later on for the World Bank. And while I was working for the World Bank, a friend of mine handed me a bike and said, "Monika, you should ride a bike." And I was like, it's pretty boring, just along the road. But he knew me, invited me to a group ride, 50 kilometers, 30 miles. And I thought, I'm somewhat fit, shouldn't be a problem to do this 50-kilometer group ride. So I showed up to this group ride, started with a group, and 5 kilometers later, I was off in the back. And I was like, holy smokes. No way that I can leave the sport like this. I will show up to this group ride until I will make the 50 kilometers with the group. And 1.5 years later, I had to make a big decision. Do I want to have a tax-free career with the World Bank, or do I want to try to become a poor professional cyclist? And my family, friends, acquaintances said, "Monika, no-brainer, obviously, the tax-free career with the World Bank." But something in my heart told me I should try to see what it means to become a professional cyclist. So me, against the opinions of all the others, quit this tax-free career at the World Bank and moved to Germany to race professionally bikes. First league, first Bundesliga in Germany. For exactly 3 months. Only to realize in such a short amount of time that's not at all what I wanted and how I thought professional cycling is. And you can imagine how I must feel. It was a huge failure for me. Just 3 months beforehand, I quit a huge job, only to realize that what I'm now at, I didn't want either. And I don't have to tell you what my family, friends, and acquaintances told me. Any case, I knew sport is my life, sport is my passion, so I went back to the States to study sports, to find the career, the dream job in sports. Except that I didn't find it. And especially my dad said, "Monika, now you have 3 degrees. Now you should find like a real job. You know, it's nice what you've done now all with your sports, but now, you have to make it like a real living, real job." And because I didn't have an alternative to this real job, I was looking for like a legitimate real job. I applied for anything everywhere. And I became a management consultant at IBM, first in Zurich, Switzerland, and then later on in Melbourne, Australia. And although this was an interesting job, I learned a lot, it was not my passion. And then, with 30, I was sitting unemployed in a botanical garden in Melbourne, Australia, and was wondering, what the heck do I want to do with my life, professionally speaking? Basically, like a midlife crisis. I didn't want to just do any job. I wanted to wake up on Monday morning being excited about work. I just did not know what this exciting for what work it is. And I didn't want to work for another 35 years, some odd job. I want to have that passion and excitement for my job. But what is it? That I had to find out. So I hit the reset button and started from scratch with 30. I don't know if you've ever done this before, but I opened up a world map and looked, where do I want to live? Well, I was unemployed, no kids, not married. I was independent and could live wherever I wanted to. Where do I want to? And if you look at a world map, the world seems so big all of a sudden. Where am I moving to? But I had 3 requirements. It had to be in the EU, it had to be cycling friendly, and nice weather. So I decided to move with a one-way ticket, to move with a small little backpack and my bike pack from Melbourne, Australia to Malaga, Spain. I didn't speak a word of Spanish. I thought mangiare is Spanish, it's Italian. I didn't know anyone and I'd never been to Malaga before. And the only plan I had, trying to figure out what I want to do with my life, professionally speaking. And while I was searching for my own answer to this question, I was meeting so many people who were in the same position as me, but were scared to get outside their comfort zone, to really see what I can do, their full potential, pursuing really their goals, no matter how seemingly impossible they are. And that became my mission, inspiring, empowering others to go for their goals. And because my CV is a little chaotic, to say at least, I was looking for something which shows a little bit better what it means to do something big, to go for seemingly impossible goals. So that's why in 2018, I was setting my first cycling record, riding as the first female in history the Vuelta a España Tour of Spain on the same day as the male professionals just hours beforehand. And then in 2022, I was setting my second cycling record, riding all 124 Swiss passes on the bike in 26 days. And now I'm doing exactly that, what started when I moved to Spain looking for it. My mission, inspiring, empowering others to pursue their goals, no matter how seemingly impossible they are. And that I do through keynotes, workshops, masterclasses, trainings, in any way how I can help others to do that what they really want to do.